forward a little bit more. That if you're in the back, please come closer to the front. For those people who are late, they deserve to be back anyways, right? Hare Krishna, don't need to insult you at all. We love you. Okay, I'm going to chant the song that Prabhupada would sing a lot before beginning the class. Okay. I don't know where the musicians are. All you need to do is sing Hari Om. Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance to him. Srila Prabhupada ki Hare Krishna. Yesterday we conducted a seminar or a workshop called, well, it was promoted here as the Kirtan Etiquette Seminar, and that's fine. Or we can call it the Kirtan Standard Workshop. And a few people came. It was maybe 40, 45, somewhere in there, 50 maybe at the best. And we appreciate everyone who came. So what I'm going to do is take an abbreviated version of what we went through yesterday. I thought it was important to go over Kirtan standards because that's what Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj, wanted. Okay? So those of you who didn't get a chance to be here yesterday, now you got a chance. And at the end of all of this, we like to make an announcement that we like to just control this, bring out the standards or regulations a little bit more by establishing our music coordinators who will help to see that whoever's chanting will stay on track with the regulations. And otherwise, there's a tendency to detour and deviate and do all kinds of strange things. All right, so first of all, I'd like to start off with a disclaimer. We're going to go over some standards that Prabhupada established, and they're not always followed. So if I offend any of you, please forgive me if you've been leading kirtans and not keeping up to the standards. And also, if I'm offending your guru, who might be breaking some of the rules, I'm just going by what Prabhupada had established as standards. Okay? We talk about rules and some rigidity in regards to kirtan and bhajan. But there's also some room for artistic, flexibility. And we'll talk about that a little bit as well. If it escapes me, just remind me. Okay? So, first of all, we're looking at an image of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If it's not up there, then it's up there. It's at the back. It's at the back. Okay, you can do some yoga, right? Oh yeah, I can always see that too. It's here, it's there, it's all over the place. Okay, we have the image of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his 4 other buddies, you can say, his associates, his peers. They're known as the Pancha Tattva, 5 great personalities who came to deliver the Sankirtan movement. Kirtan means glorification of Krishna, and Sankirtan means everyone together glorifying Krishna and doing it in a nice, attractive way. Okay? So, one of the themes that we like to establish here in our little discussion here is inclusiveness. You all know what inclusiveness means. It means come together, togetherness, a sense of oneness, and being uniform in our efforts. So it was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who was very kind, and he brought everyone on board. In fact, when he chanted and danced, we're talking about 500 years ago, people were enthralled by him. Not only the Hindus, but the Muslims also came to say, who is this extraordinary personality? In fact, there was one fellow, his name's Hussein Shah, who was very much controlling type of person and very anti-Hindu. But when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his heart changed, and he said, if anyone gives this person a hard time because of his chanting and his feelings and so on like that, I will take care of you. All right, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extraordinary. He included everybody, those men and women, because Krishna was saying, Mangi Paratele Has Vidya, Ye Pisyu Opayoni, Ospirio Vaishistata Shudras, Tipiyanti Paramiti. This is not, Dharma is not a monopoly of just a few males who are brahminical, but actually kirtan and the culture of spreading the message around through sound vibration is something for everybody. It doesn't matter your rank, your status, or gender. It's for everybody. So we don't have any account of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu connecting or having interactions with Christian people because they were around during this time, but definitely with Buddhists and Muslims and people of varying sorts and kinds. And he just made it so attractive that everybody would want to come and get involved. So inclusiveness is a key word. Let everyone partake in this. And for that, we are recommending that anybody who leads the kirtans, they should be inclusive in their approach. That is, using simple tunes that everybody can follow, not making it too complicated. You don't have to be a classic singer, because we do sometimes have people go, all that kind of stuff, and holding a note forever, okay, you're great, yay, you deserve to be on a talent show, fantastic. But did you accomplish the mission, which is, are people involved? Did you make eye contact? That is, I'm talking about this, the kirtan leader. Did you make some contact? Did you smile? Did you make people feel like they can be included, be involved? Those are the questions we pose to those who are leading kirtan. In other words, don't be in a little transcendental bubble let's say I've got my little thing going on with Krishna and nothing else matters, okay? We actually have a term for that. People who think like that, they're called kanishta. Kanishta, maybe it doesn't sound so kanishta, okay? It means that you feel you're very special with God and other people aren't important. Okay, there are moments where we have silent, serious communication with Krishna. We can pray to Krishna, for instance. But when it comes to kirtan and everyone being there, it's an effort that we have to make to everyone get involved and make it feel a little bit like a party, like a controlled party. That's where we're going out with this. And why is this important? Because you're all committed to working hard during the week, and you have to deal with your challenges at the workplace, at home, and even in between, between work and home, or school and home. Because when you're driving, or you're in a bus, or you're walking, you have to deal with your mind, right? Your mind, and hence it is important to then, let's say, be very enthusiastic about the weekend get-together, the party, the kirtan party. So the unique thing about Srila Prabhupada is that he redefined what is a party. For the hippies that initially came to join intellectuals in the 60s, they were high, some of them were on drugs. Prabhupada helped them to take a new drug, and it's called Harir Nam, Harir Nam, Harir Nam, Ira Kiva, Hello Nasiva, 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 Kartira Nita. It's a new drug, it's called Hare Krishna, chanting God's name. Okay, and you can get high on that. And it was promoted, if you want to get high, stay high forever. Just chant Hare Krishna. So that's the idea. So we're encouraging kirtan leaders to choose a key, or a pitch that everyone can follow. Okay? Because some people are naturally really good at hitting high notes. And some of the men who hit high notes, it's very difficult for some of the ladies to follow. So we want to be inclusive. I hope I didn't say anything that's gender, politically incorrect. I'm just saying that, some of us have a great range, and we should try to get note C, if we can, in most of the things that we do. Choose a simple tune, don't make it too complicated that nobody can follow. We already addressed that. And again, try to encourage that kind of exclusivity. Inclusivity instead of exclusivity. Okay? Everybody okay on that? Now we're gonna, one of the, I see you're drawing there. So the purpose behind chanting is very important because it cleanses the heart. If I ask you, why do we chant? What's it for? Because Prabhupada said, chant and be happy. Okay? So if you chant, you should be happy. If you're chanting and you're not happy, maybe there's something wrong with the way you're chanting. Or your approach might not be so correct. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again I reference him because he's the father of Kirtan, the father of the holy name. He says, Chaito Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahatavagna Nir Bhavanam. And that means we chant to get purified, to cleanse our heart. And we have an image of a person who is cleaning the shower stall. I guess that's what it is, of the window. You know what it's like. Does anybody do spring cleaning? Anybody here do spring cleaning? After the winter, after the fall, when dirt has hit your windows and leaves have come and things have been flying in the air, you know, and then they get buried by the snow, and then the spring comes and thaws out there and says, oh my God, look at all the rubbish that they buried, right? Some of them land on my front yard. And so you go for cleaning, and after you clean, you feel so good. Am I right about that? You know, I just remember I was in the classroom, kind of a shy person, elementary school, and one of the teachers asked the question. One of my teachers said in a room with 30 students, maybe it was in grade 2 or 3 or something like that, why should we take a bath? Why should we be clean? And I put up my hand and said, so that you feel good. All right, so you feel good when you're clean, and that's one of the objectives here behind the cleansing. Let's move on to, can you go to volume? Okay. So we'll go to one of the images there. Again, for Kirtan leaders and people who are running the sound system, and people bring in speakers and microphones and all that. We want to talk a little bit about the issue of volume. Okay, so most of you have heard about people who go to concerts, and they are exposed to loud music, and it busts their eardrums. It busts their eardrums. So the drums bust the drums, right? Or whatever it is there, the percussion that makes it really hard on your ears. Now, when we're young, we don't mind a bit of noise. We don't mind a lot of volume. In fact, it gets us quite excited. Am I right about that? We're just like, so you can't even talk to each other. You can't even hear the next guy next to you. Yeah, it's ecstasy. Yeah, it's so loud. But those people who have been exposed to this for a long time, such as people in rock concerts, or we have an image here of somebody who's on Harley Davidson. Is that a Harley? Kind of. I have nothing against motorbikes. I don't have anything motorcycles or. But they are quite noisy, and you'll have one guy going down, a road, and at least 10,000 people know that you're there. That's how loud it is. And it's funny, we have a funny system here, that if your car is too loud, the police can stop you and give you a ticket. But for Harley Davidson, nobody stops. Why is that? There seems to be some inconsistency. So there's a lot of people who've been exposed to loud noises. I hate to say that some people who work in factories for a long time, I'm not denigrating your role or as your function in contributing to society, but all I'm saying is that the noises tend to be a little loud if you're working on a construction site and you're the drill breaking the concrete, that can get to your ears. And if you spend a lot of time on a motorcycle, that can happen. Or if you go to rock concerts too many times, it can happen. And I've been to situations in India too, where there's a lot of festive activities, and it's just really loud. How can you bear it? So that is something that we have to consider when setting up our sound system and so on like that. Don't go too loud, and because you might be, let's say, what would you call it? like Superman, when it comes to being young, and you can take anything, but by the time you're 40, if you're too exposed, you're already becoming an old man. You go, oh, I can't. What did you say? Well, what's that? So, we want to be able to put some regulations on that. Do you want to give us a little video of it? And just give us some volume too. This is what sometimes some of these sounds like. Here's on. It's not loud enough. I want to make a point. My eardrums are gone. Okay, now there's, what do you think about that, what you saw up there? What was it?
Too ecstatic.
What's that?
Too ecstatic.
Too ecstatic, okay, too transcendental. Anything else about what you just saw and heard?
No Mahamantra heard.
Can't even hear the Mahamantra. That's a big problem right there. It sounded like mush altogether. And even in terms of the dance that was going on, it was kind of like everyone's doing their any old little thing. And there wasn't uniformity in the movements and so on like that. So that is a problem sometimes at our events. So next time when we do a kirtan, let's say, I know in some temples we do Rath Yatra and we go down in the downtown area. And it might not sound that good, it doesn't sound rehearsed. So anyways, we'll move on to the next musicology or musicology. And that means that people who are leading, taking this major responsibility, have a sense of rhythm and a sense of tempo and being able to, we already have enough that's it. I've got my quote in there. So some of us are tone deaf. That's a fact. All the temples I go to, we got some people, they're not hitting the right pitch and they don't even know it. So like the leader sings on one level and then the responders sing at another level and it just sounds horrible. To such people who aren't tone deaf, it might be an idea for the local musical person, or I don't mind being the bad cop, saying you're off, you're off. I just want to let you know. So, but don't lose hope. You can actually get better. Some people. When I did this course in Vancouver, I actually brought in a professional voice trainer, and she went for 40 minutes out of her 3.5, 4 hours, to just help people understand. It was really funny. I asked, do you know people who are tone deaf? I just asked the community, and people put up their hands. Yeah, that's our temple president. not our local person here. But so then he blushed, he got embarrassed. But he took it really well, and he understood, okay, I have to do better. If I'm too loud with singing off key or off pitch, then I'll just soften up a little bit, and I'll try to take some lessons. It'll cost some money, but maybe we have some people here who will offer that kind of course in terms of, the voice perfection. Rhythm is important. What sometimes we see happens in a kirtan, the person who's leading, with the voice, has a drummer come by and speeds it up, just spontaneously. And then the leader said, well, what are you doing here? I'm taking the lead, so why are you competing with me? So that's sometimes a problem. Sense of rhythm and timing is so important. In general, timing is important. It's really important to be on time, for any event, spiritual event. Like many of our devotees, they're really, really good at being on time for work and for school when it comes to your spirituality. Oh, I can, Sunday after work and just come in a little bit late, it's okay. You understand what I'm saying? Does that sound? Not being on time. So we've said this before. If you can't be on time, at least be early. That'd be great. Timing is everything. And sometimes, we get involved in grammatical presentations. We train young people, usually it's younger folks, in drama delivery, And usually we suggest sometimes you say this line, but then you must give a pause. And the pause is so effective. Sometimes the pause is more powerful in its delivery than the speech itself. Like, when I was young, before I became a devotee in Krishna consciousness, I loved music, and I still do. And I still appreciate some of the people who are harmonized so nicely. We're going to have some people showing a harmony. And I also appreciate like timing is so important. I was a fan of Alfred Hitchcock. Has anybody ever heard of him? Alfred Hitchcock movies. And his sense of timing was paka. Like everything, about even when music would be put in, and sometimes no music at all, so you're kind of left to go, oh my God. So he was so good with timing, you know. And so when it comes to kirtan, timing is important. So when it comes to the kartals, the basis is, say, for instance, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when you see Prabhupada, playing the kartals, he released it on the third beat, 1, 2, 3. He would let some fingers go. The kartals are the hand symbols that some of you are familiar with, right? You want to demonstrate what we just put on? Oh, you gave it away. Okay. All right. So the point is 1, 2, 3. Sometimes our bhajans call for 1, 2. It's a 1, 2 beat. Okay. So, as I mentioned, you can just hold it up in the air. These are kartalas, manjira, they call it sometimes. Any other terms that are here? Symbols, okay, and symbols. Okay, so there's something about tempo as well. This is for the kirtan leaders. And, I know that some of you don't feel unqualified. I don't have any musical skills whatsoever. So then you're asking, why is this Maharaj talking about these things? Well, we're all involved in responding. We may not be leading, but we are responding. And so for those who are leading kirtan, they establish a tempo. And a tempo in the temple is very important, meaning that you start off nice and melodiously, gracefully, and slowly it can reach up to like a crescendo at the end. It just kind of explodes at the end. And usually in traditional Bengali kirtans, at least, there when there's the crescendo, there's a little bit more volume, a little more level of intensity, and everyone's sweating and turning red by that time, or brown or blue or light or and usually the ladies at that time, they ululate, ululate, which sounds a little bit like this. So if you do it all together, we can do it now together. It actually does makes your hair stand on end. 1, 2, 3, go. Okay, it might sound tribal-like, but I don't know, that's the tradition. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at, I would like you to open your minds a little bit and hearts to a famous group of musicians. They actually travel all over the world. They're from Africa, Mombasa, Ladysmith. And we're just going to ask you to look at this. I don't know if the lights can go out. Is it possible? Is it too much trouble? No, I think that.
Only one.
Yeah, you have to run through. Get the tempo going. So the idea here is to watch, see what they're doing, observe what the leader is doing, look at what everyone else is doing who are responding or who are the chorus members, and just look at the visuals as well. I'm not saying that we have to imitate them, I'm just saying we're looking at a culture that's successful in their delivery. Okay? Is this good now? That you learn from that delivery. Okay. Now we didn't choose a kirtan or anything like that because most successful bhajan singers, they sit on the floor with a harmonium, but these guys are standing up and they're all dressed in a certain way. Okay, so can anybody tell us a little bit, what did you get from that? Yeah.
Coordination.
Coordination, yes, very good. Coordination, yes. Anything else?
Seems they have rehearsed pretty much.
They have rehearsed, yeah, that's one of the points that we'd like to raise as well, yeah. They rehearse very well, that's right. Otherwise you can't go on the stage with a bunch of guys and expect everyone to do the same thing. Anything else?
Dress.
Of the dress, they're all dressed the same. I'm not saying that, you know, when we come to our center here, that everyone should be dressed in a dhoti with a blue border or something like that. Or sorry, or the ladies would be so upset, you want me to wear the same thing that she wears? No, you have to be unique, you know, to look good, right? So, but yeah, the dress is good, it draws attention. Anything else?
Leader voice was distinctly, could be heard. Leader could be distinctly heard.
Yes, the leader was distinctly heard. That's what she said, yeah, that's right. And he was making his own sounds and he had incredible range. Some of it sounded like jungle animals. That's just what he's deliberately trying to portray. And anything else outside the leader?
Participation.
The participation was very strong, that's right. Mhm.
Timing.
Timing was good, yeah, that's good. Not too many instruments. Thank you. There weren't any instruments except for the human voice. I mean, these guys, they got incredible sense of harmony, you know? And to me, the responders, or the chorus, you could say, they had a real nice resonance in their voices. It sounded really nice. It was beautiful, right? So there's power in the voice. And if we're doing kirtan, we have so many instruments that obscure the sound of the voice and obscure the sound of the name, the holy name, which is sacred to us, whether it's Hare or Krishna or Rama, then we're kind of defeating our purpose, shooting ourselves in the foot. So, you know, attention is given to the voice, and I don't think we have time here right now, but yesterday we played for those who were here a little segment of Gregorian chanters. They are brothers, they're monks in the Christian tradition, and they have, they sounded beautiful together, and there was not one piano in there, or harp, or flute, or guitar, anything in there, you know? And it was so beautiful, it stirred you, you know? So, so those are some of the points we want to cover in that particular area about looking good, being attractive, especially when it comes to things like Rath Yatra or even in the temple. Therefore, we encourage people who have some talent in terms of rhythm and have musicality abilities to come forward and take the lead, and then everyone else can learn. How many, would any of you like to be a rock star? Would any of you like to be known like, you know, an amazing singer like Lata Mangeshkar? Would anybody like to be in that status? Okay, right. So there are people with incredible voices, and let's admit, most of us don't have that ability. We mentioned yesterday too, there's this one young chap, he's from Kazakhstan area, and he has such an amazing range. His name is Danesh, something like, sounds almost like you. But he's got an incredible range from down here to way up there. And he attracts, his concerts are mind-blowing, so you might look that up. So I think that where we should go to from here, we talked about humility, did we? Yeah, Srinada, Sunichina, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, be tolerant like a tree, but be humble like a grass. The tree goes up high, right? Reaches high, and has a reason to be proud. Well, what about a blade of grass? It's way down here. Everyone tramples on it. Even animals come, your cow and your bull eat you. So, but approach chanting with in a humble frame of mind. Not that I'm here, I'm a big superstar, everyone's noticing, I'm so wonderful. Okay, that's an ego-based thing. Okay, so let's talk about preparedness. Would that be okay? I don't know if you have something there. But you have to prepare. If you are in the kirtan and you're rehearsed, it's fine. You know, you played with a bunch of people and you practiced, and then you're ready to do something publicly. If you want to sing off key and you want to make noise, you can go in your basement or your attic. Or if you got, raccoons in your attic and you're trying to get rid of them, then you go up there and make all kinds of noise and they'll get out of there for sure. Right? So preparation is really important, and we are recommending that you don't just come and grab any instrument and start playing if you haven't practiced with the group. We're also recommending that you don't come to the center with kartals in your pocket and just start flinging them around if you haven't practiced. It's disrespectful to the kirtan and to the people who have practiced. Okay, so it's a real. If you want to learn how to do kirtan nicely, sweetly, then we will point you in the direction of those who can offer that. Now, when Prabhupada started the movement, he helped the boys and girls with just like timing, playing the kartals. There's some recordings of that in New York. But when he came to Canada, 1968, Prabhupada had visa issues, so he had to get out of America, and so he came to Montreal. In those days, Montreal was the city in Canada, in 1967, 68. It was the World's Fair was there. Canada was 100 years old in 1967. And so Prabhupada came just around that period. And he writes a letter, said, I'm going to Montreal, and if I see that the people very much like kirtan, then I will train some of you. So then he got, some American devotees came up, Brother Mercy came up to Canada to help establish Krishna consciousness and plant seeds of bhakti. So there was Malati and her husband Shyamsundar, there was, Janaki and her husband Mukunda, and then there was also, who else did we have at that time? Just Yamuna and her husband Guru Das. They came up, and the house that was rented at that time where Prabhupada stayed is where he gave those lessons. And he said he was preparing them to go to England, and that's where they went. So he felt that for the British public, they would like something that's a little bit, sounds good, it's attractive, and that holds true for anywhere. Like if you go to Africa and you just make noise, people say, because they're musically so astute, naturally. And I would say that, India probably has the most advanced form, like even the music scale is more progressive and sophisticated than anywhere in the world. And some of the greatest talent comes from India, for sure, 100%. I believe that. So we want to just look good. We want to present ourselves in a way that's appealing and would be pleasing to Prabhupada and all the acharyas, all the teachers in our line of disciple succession. Yeah. So getting prepared is really important. You have no visuals of that, right? Okay, that's okay. Then what we'll do is we'll move along to taboos. Okay, so now this is where it gets a little touchy, okay? There are certain things that we should be chanting, okay? That we're obliged to do in the Hare Krishna movement, because it is stated in the Shastra that chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It will serve to deliver someone, give moksha, even better, love of God. And so now we have in the Shastra, in the Bhagavatam, it said, Kirtanad eva Krishnasya, mukta samna param parajit. That means that we live in an ocean, Kali Yuga, ocean of faults. Everything's wrong. You can say that clearly, because the Shastras say everything out there is bad. But there's one thing that's good, and that is Kirtanad eva. Kirtan is good. On my first walk across Canada, I met a Punjabi fellow, and it was in the fall. I was walking along the Ottawa River, and he was running a gas station. It was his. And we talked a little bit. I went to use the facilities, and then he came out. And his opinion was, we were talking about the way the world is now. It's kind of corrupt and it's contaminated and spoiled. Of course, it always was. But his remark to me was that, Prabhu, anything old, good. Anything new, bad. So he was a man of the old school, believing that, what was there before, like in ancient times perhaps, was quite good. There was some sense of order and respect and so on, which is lacking so much today. So we're going to look at some things that, some faults. Definitely we were supposed to chant Hare Krishna and the Panchatattva mantra. The Panchatattva mantra goes like this. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimad Adi Gaura Bhaktavinda. So some devotees introduce a few interesting things. Like one popular one is Nitai Gaura Haribo Haribo. So what you're really saying is Nitai and Gaura Nityananda. You should say the names of God. Who are we to tell them to chant God's name? Nitai Gaura Haribo. Okay, Prabhupada didn't bring that. He never gave us that. In fact, it was just something that devotees picked up later on, after the movement was started. And I joined in '73, and we just finished with the Maha Mantra. And then somebody goes, Nitai Gaura Haribo. I thought they were saying, no, let's go Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Okay, Haribo, we do find that terminology in the books of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita, for instance. But it's not necessarily bad to do it, but it's not. No, I recommend we should not do it because Prabhupada didn't do it. The Acharyas did not do that. So we don't need to do Nitai Gaura Haribo. You don't need that for crescendo. You can find other things to do. So, and of course, no one's going to, Yamaraj won't come and kill you or send you to Kumbhipaka, to hell if you do these things. But it's just a standard we don't need to have. And then somebody introduced it, and then others will introduce other, mantras and bhajan, and then there's no end to it. After a while, they'll just say, they'll say any old thing, and everything gets then diluted, watered down. Another one is Jai Gurudev. No. There was a song in the 60s that goes like this. No. I don't know if you ever heard it. Well, it applies to this one. Okay, Prabhupada didn't like it. He said if you chant Jai Gurudev, the Guru has a name. So if you're going to use this name, but then it's appropriate. But then we don't want everyone chanting the names of their personal gurus because, there will be no end to it and we'll never have a chance to chant Hare Krishna. Right? In your home, you can say Jai so-and-so Swami or whatever is your guru. But it's impersonal. That's what Prabhupada said about that. And so again, we want to appeal to you and say that we have our acharyas and they've given us guidelines and standards that we should follow. And so it's not necessary to do these things here. Let's see. Anything else? What else? Oh yeah, and again, if kirtan means jai this and jai that, where will be their time for chanting Hare Krishna? Because our artis are of a certain length, they only go for so long. And if you just bring in all these other, let's say, call them fabrications, if you will, then there's no time for the prime mantra, which is Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And sometimes people, they say, they argue, well, it gets kind of boring, it's the same thing over and over again. Well, there are 2 and 3 parts to the melody, sometimes 4. So if you want to change, you can. Change, go up to. It's also recommended not to change the tunes or the melodies. Just every melody has 1 or 2 parts usually, so that should be good enough. And of course, the leader will come up with different intonations, which can make it a little bit fun and exciting as well. Okay, so those three up, so that's, is that understood? We don't need to jai everybody. We might jai Srila Prabhupada because he's our founder Acharya and do that sort of at the end or something. If you want a grand finale or a crescendo, fine. But don't go on and on and on. You just invite it. Just invite it. In terms of Nitai Gaur Nityananda Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Have you ever heard that one before? Okay. And Prabhupada, he's heard someone reading that, and after the kirtan was over, he was real stern. Don't ever do that again. And Prabhupada sent a letter out to some of the leaders, and he said, they can chant Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, but I will chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Vasari Gaura, and I will go back to Godhead. And also, if you're doing Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, what happened to the other three personalities? You know? Or like sometimes, it's Radhaswami, I'm going to do Radharani Kitai, Maharani Kitai, Radhe, Radhe, all this kind of stuff. The Acharyas didn't do that. And then, if you do that, it's somewhat offensive because did Radharani dump Krishna or something? Is Krishna just kicked out of the fact, not part of the factor anymore? So we just want to kind of keep to our tradition, and then we'll get blessings. Anybody here interested in blessings from the Acharyas? Anybody? Yeah? Okay, I am. Some of you are not interested. Okay, I'm interested. I'm very interested in getting blessings from the previous Acharyas, yes. Okay. So chanting is important, and we quoted from the Shastra in that regard. And we'd like to commend you, that is, this community here, for doing such a nice job with Kirtan. And some of the children are trained really well, and they don't have an ego, from what I can see. All glories to you all for making those arrangements. However, there are some of us that are tone deaf. I heard it, and so, maybe that has to be addressed, and those persons can be helped. So, one person can't have it all. One person can't be everything. That's called Bhagavan. Bhagavan is one who has it all. We have 6 different qualities for Bhagavan. What's one quality that Bhagavan has? Anybody know? Strength. Can you put up your hand? I only recognize people who do this, what is one?
All powerful.
All powerful or strength? What else?
All knowledgeable.
Okay, hey, wait a minute. You're disqualified, okay. Okay, over here. All beauty, okay. Wait a minute, your hand was not up? Come on. That's a good guess. That's not. But Parashara Muni, Vyasadev's father, gave us this definition of what is Bhagavan. Yes, please.
Yes. Renunciation.
Renunciation, yes. Anything else? Those who read Prabhupada's books, it's becoming obvious. Yep.
Most wealthy.
Wealthy, yeah. The wealthiest person, yeah. Richest.
Most strongest.
Strongest was already mentioned, most powerful, but it's okay.
Most knowledgeable.
Most knowledgeable, yes.
All attractive.
What's that?
All attractive.
All attentive.
Attractive.
Attractive, yeah. Beauty, we mentioned beauty, right? Yeah.
Fame.
Fame, yes. I think we mentioned this. 6. I think we covered it. Yes, Prabhu? No.
All the riches.
It just was already mentioned, yeah. Thank you very much. That is Bhagavan. Now, do any of us have all of those things? Or most of us have none of those things, or a small portion, because we are part and parcel of the Lord. So it's not expected that everyone has this musical talent, but for those who do, let them give them a chance to take their position. Some of us are not good administrators, but others are. Some people are very good with money. I know a few people here are, like, where's Satish? Satish, are you there? He's waiting in the back, Some people are good at accountants, good with money. Some people are good with cooking, right? Who's good at cooking behind the stove? You are? Okay. Should I ask your husband?
Yes.
Well, Vibhuti,
Learning.
learning, she's learning.
I'm in training.
Okay. Yeah, so the thing is that don't feel bad because you don't have it all down. And don't feel hurt if someone suggests that you don't try to control the kirtan. Well, let the kirtan control you in a certain way. So those are some points we want to cover. And I take it already that you're probably having regular scheduling, that people are, appointed. And again, I would like to say that if you have not rehearsed, please don't bother picking up an instrument, even the most simple one like kartals. Leave that to those who were practiced. Another point is we don't need 20 kartals at one time in this group. We don't need 5 mridungas. It's going to bust your brains, okay? So therefore, keep everything at a regular level, and there should be a balance of sound. Not that one instrument should just kind of take over. There should be, the best music is when it's nice and balanced, right, on the levels. So those are some points we wanted to bring up to you all, and I would just like to say that I'll be open to your questions. Two announcements I'd like to make. And one is that at the Toronto Temple we started a Bhakti Academy, and it's a 3-month term where it could be for almost anybody, young people especially, who are not yet settled in their life and so on like that, to have 3 months of their life where they go through an ashram experience. You rise around 5 o'clock in the morning, which is not a big deal for most people, shower, and then attend a morning program. There's several classes throughout the day. It's a lot of fun too, not just discipline. We do outings, and there's a lot of prashadam, wonderful prashadam, and there's help given in the temple, in the kitchen, and cleaning, things like that. Some people are driving, playing errands. So this is really the best program we've ever had in the history of, I'd say, Canada. And it's run by some really nice devotees who are taking the charge on this. We're following in the footsteps of Gainesville, where they've been running this program, what's called Krishna House, for a few years. And Toronto is one of the places that jumped on the bandwagon and decided to do this. So I'm saying this because some of you have sons and daughters, and you would like them, of course you want them to have a good career and get their studies done, but what about their spirituality? Because some of our sons and daughters don't get into Krishna consciousness after a while. And there's reasons for that. Sometimes we're a little bit too rough and tough on them and forceful, and they become resentful. And of course, they already have the influence of materialism and atheism around them. So your input is very minimal compared to what they get for several hours in the day. So we're just saying that it's a great experience. It's a little bit like camping out every day, and it's just a 3-month period. And you can actually go to school. You can study your courses while taking this course, or you can even get a job. You'll have just like morning, evening programs. So I just want, if anybody's interested, let us know. We can eventually develop something like that here also in Brampton. And the last point we want to make is that, as some of you know, we did release a book that I wrote. It's called The Saffron Path, and it's about my walking experiences. And they are available for sale, the books, and people are giving good comments on it. So I don't know where the setup is for the books, but I'll sign them today. Oh, they're up here. Okay, great. And I guess that's about it. Do we have any time for questions? Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll make another announcement. There's leadership parenting workshop that's also going on the 4th and the 5th, and this is conducted in person by Gopi Gita. I knew her since she was a little kid. Huh? Oh yeah, everyone, if you're a parent, you should come. If you're not a parent, you probably will become one. And it is apparent that you should be here. Okay, so that's the 4th and the 5th for details. See, I know.
Very well.
Okay. or Prema, like Prema Gandhi. Okay, anything else? Any questions on what we discussed? Was it helpful at all?
Yes.
Lot.
Did it help? Did the standards assist us in some way? Okay, but one last thing, Brew, is that I've talked to Rabbi Gopinath, and I don't think he's here with us today, our temple. Are you here, Rabbi Gopinath? Didn't show up, he's busy today, I guess. But I did ask him about some people who could kind of help coordinate the musicality of it all, okay? And so one is Amoda Lila. Do you understand that? You all know him? Yeah. That means he'll give some direction, he'll give some coaching and things like that, and encouragement more than anything. And if you do sing off key, he might take you to the corner. He won't take you to the back alley. I think you need to work on your voice, things like that. And Indra Guru has also volunteered to be that person. Yes, thank you very much. And this is a system that we adapted in Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, a few places where we established what we call some monitors or temple coordinators. And most religious groups, they have somebody who manages the music, you know. But that's just a given, it should be like that. Otherwise, everyone will do any old, like use the term, damn thing. And then it will be damned. All right, so thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada, please.
So a big round of applause for His name, Swami. I think we can turn on the lights on this side too. Now we don't need that projection anymore. Some announcements. I was going to talk about the seminar that is coming up that Maharaj was talking about. Gopi Gita is a sister of Gauramani. Actually, Gauramani Mataji is quite famous on social media. She's married to Paran Prabhu and Big Chaitanya. But Gopi Gita is her sister, and she's coming from Dallas. We are so blessed to have her. You know, like she does an amazing job, and people who are going to attend that seminar, they are going to go back. You know, like into the real world with some real tools, so that your children are better equipped to be successful in the material world as well as in the spiritual. I encourage it with my whole heart. You know, like register for that seminar. Premamani Mother, you want to say something more?
Hare Krishna. So this seminar is for parenting, and many times we get the question, okay, my son or my daughter is not coming to temple. I'm coming alone, and they are home, they have homework, or they have devices to keep them busy. So there are many questions as parents that we get regularly, and we wonder why at some age they stop coming to temple, or they are not interested. So in this seminar, in this workshop, Mataji is going to talk to all of us and also make us work together. And she has some systematic ways of teaching us on how to approach this kind of situation, what are the things that we have to say, what are the do's and the don'ts. So this is very interesting for parents, and especially in this modern world, we have so many things that are more attractive to our kids than Krishna consciousness. So please contact me if you would like to get more information, and please do register and attend this workshop. Thank you.
So again, you know, like we don't take care of our children, if we don't inculcate those values, then who else will? We need to play our part, right? So this is us playing our part. Please attend that seminar. And as I said, you know, you will go home with so many basic practical tools that you will be able to tackle the problems that Mataji was talking about. You know, we are parents, we have seen that firsthand what kids go through. The life is changing so fast, all this social media, it is going to show its effects. You know, like so we have to prepare ourselves too. You know, like so it is a seminar for us parents to learn the tools so that we can better perform our duties of being a parent. Anyways, you can see Premanandi Mataji, and there is information on our WhatsApp page too, you know, how to register for that upcoming seminar. And as I said earlier, this is the Damodar month going on, so we are going to get set for the Maharaj'S. There are going to be two lines, one over here and one over there. Please come with your family, and if you don't know how to offer the ghee lamp to Damodar, then it's very simple. Everybody knows here the highway 427, right? So we will insert 13 in there, you know, 4237. 4 times you circle the feet, and twice to the other nabhi, and 3 times to the face, and then 7 times all around. That's how we offer the ghee lamp to Damodar. Let's get set for Damodar. Hare Krishna. Yeah, and Rasa Guru has these books, you know, like we have quite a few, 3 bags here, you know, like please come and take and give it to your friends, your relatives as gifts. You know, like Kartik month is very, very auspicious. It is very nice to give gifts of Srila Prabhupada books. Please come and take some. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And they are very, very cheap. You know, it's not too much of money. You know, like how much? $5 for 1 bag. So there you go. You know, like please take some books and give it to your relatives and friends as gifts. And you never know how these time bombs are going to be used. You know. But let's get up and get set for the Maharaj'S now. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Damodar
Yam
snigdha ratvaisvapya Mushambitam Amanya Shabirastam Al-Lakshalabha Namo Deva Namo Gananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dutta Chalapi Marmi Kripa Drishti Vishrati Dinam Vatanu Grihani Shamamatyam Tejakshitasya Puratna Jobhadha Vrutyayvayata Mochitao Bhakti Vajokritao Cha Tatra Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Namo Shikraho Mesti Tamo Karira Namaste Sudhamne Sudhaditi Dhamne Bhakti Yogarayata Vishvasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaya Kodiya Priyaya Lilaya Devaya Tukyam Namamishvara Sachidananda Rupam Vavasatundaram Kotile Prajamanam Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Maharaj'S toaster, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktimarga Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhans Parivrajacharya's toaster, His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Jagannathpuri Dham ki Mayapur Dham ki Vrindavan Dham ki all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Nama Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So I see quite a lot of new faces. People who are here for the first time, please raise your hand so that we can recognize. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So this is the etiquette here, Prabhuji and Mataji. We don't have to get in the line for prasadam. We have a table. Have a seat at the table and your prasadam will be brought to you. You don't have to get in line for prasadam. Thank you very much. People who are here for the first time, please have a seat at the table. You don't have to get in the line for prasadam. Otherwise, people who are regular, members of Iskcon Brampton, let's say the Maharaj'S prayers. Mahaprasade Govinde, Namo Brahmane Vaishnave, Sarvabhamyamatam Raja, Vishwasano Jayate, Sharira Vidyada, Jagatiye Tahaka, Jeeve Phale Vishay Sagure, Paramati Jivati, Lobhumay Chulurmate, Tage Dekha Kathit Samsare, Krishna Baladamo, Gorivari Jivado, Saprasadam Vilobha, Sri Annam Ritva, Sri Sri Rama Krishna
So can I get the cake after this?
That I don't know. I got
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shri Vasadika Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
I think there's.
Yeah, so the song Brampton has a music, everybody knows that you are, right? So on October 29, we are going to conduct Iskcon here at Iskcon Brampton in person. You can see Achyut, you can see Bhaktimarga. Another Iskcon participating in that. October 29. And I believe there will be more information on WhatsApp group. Be part of that. Encourage our youth also. Please. Thank you very much.
That